Everybody, and welcome to Hex Token, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain YouTube. It's 3 channels we're streaming to at the moment. And of course, well over 10,000 subscribers. So a big welcome to everybody, and hope everybody is doing well out there. And of course, I had my day off yesterday. How about that? It was quite a productive day. I've got a little bit more to do on that topic, but I'll probably get that done today. Then I'll be powering on to some new initiatives for the channel. So going to be a lot of fun once I get that out of the way. Now, hope you guys are having a good time at dollar cost averaging, because the prices are still in the range for some pretty big volume pickups. We're going to get into all that too. We've got a big lineup today. We're going to be obviously talking about Pulsechain, really hitting that 40,000 validators. That was yesterday, of course. And we're going to talk about Block Explorer upgrades. It's a lot faster. It's going to be cool. And of course, we're going to talk about Pulsex as well. Actually, we're talking about a lot of stuff today. Pulsex. We're going to get into the markets, of course. We're going to get into all the block explorers. What else? We've got some project updates, TYRH, TYCZ. We've got PulseRate with a new game out, Roulette. And we're going to also talk about, we're going to cover NFTs, but we've got Pulse Souls, Genkai Mints about to start about now. They're probably just minutes away, is my guess. Pretty close. By the time we get there, they should be launched. Then we're going to get into Get Paid, Hex.com. The ultimate mining certificate of deposit on the blockchain. We're going to get into all that too and find out how much we get paid today, which is going to be pretty cool. So lots in store for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you're on any of these 3 channels, Pulsechain, YouTube, or Superman Crypto, or Hex Token, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for future videos, because we do it here daily. We are documenting the rollout of Pulsechain as much as we can. So we're doing probably about 95% of it at least, if not more. So very, very cool, with the occasional day off, as we say. Let's see who's in the chat there and get into it. Who else has jumped in here since I started talking? We've got Lies Beneath in here. How are you today? Very, very good, thank you. We've got a pretty good sunny day outside. I have got my walk day number 48. Walk day number 48, and my target, of course, is 3,000. I do encourage you to do your health and fitness. And, of course, our thoughts go out with Sandy Beach at the moment, with little Scooby. Spending a little time with Scooby there, so we wish you very well, Sandy, and of course, a very, very special your companion, Scooby. We've got the ultimate strategy, of course, as well. EHEX, and PLX incentive token. Those are the Richard Hart tokens, and of course, we they are the golden standard of crypto, and that's what we are really focused on in terms of our base strategy on this channel. So really, really cool. Alpha there from Lies Beneath, as always. But let's see who else is. We've got Hexavator in the house. Good to see Hexavator. Woohoo! Good to see Hexavator. And we've got Tintop as well. What's up, Tintop? Always like saying that. Tintop's here. Never fear. We've got Joshua Hill as well. Yo. Good times ahead. Absolutely. We're in the accumulation phase. You know, we've had a few challenges with the SEC and things like that, but we're starting to move forward. And we've got so much development in the ecosystem. It really is special. We're going to talk more about that too, so stay tuned. We've got Drix as well. Good to see you, Drix. We've got Hex Glenn as well. This intro, yeah, still got the intro. I'm going to try and look for a new intro because I have been playing that one for some time. So if anyone else out there wants to give me any suggestions, feel free to hit me up or DM me on Discord. That's Superman. And of course, hashtag, what's it, my hashtag on there? I need to get my custom name up and running, but 9055? Yeah, 90, hashtag 9055. That's the real Superman, so you can get hold of me there. So very cool. Who else has jumped in here? We've got Hex here, Superman, absolutely. We've got Wookie as well. Wookie has gone mad. Wookie never says anything that actually makes any real sense. So that is probably the one that has second statement of all time that has made sense from Wookie. So pretty cool. We got Pulse Demic as well. Morning from Melbourne. Keen for liquid loans launch soon. Game changer, absolutely. Me too, man. That is the big behemoth coming down the pipeline. $51 million sacrifice. Man. We're waiting for that. That's going to be so good. And collateralizing Pulse. That is the big deal there. Collateralizing Pulse and a new stable coin really is going to be impressive. USDL. Looking forward to it. Harry Williams as well. Yo. Good to see Harry. Archie's in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see Archie. And, of course, Brian as well. What's up, folks? A big shout out to Archie. We're going to be doing an update on TYRH later on. With a lot of the updates that Archie's been posting in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, the link is in the video description. And, of course, someone will probably post it in the chat there as well. Definitely join up. It's a great place to be. And we're really trying to make it community-focused. It's not Superman-focused. not Hex Token focused, but community focused. Yeah, we try to make it as free as pace as possible with as minimal rules as possible to keep it moving along. So it's a really cool place if you want to talk about strategy, about projects on Pulsechain or crypto generally, or you want to even talk about non-crypto. We've got it all there in the Discord. So you want to make a few online friends, great place to be. And we kick out the spammers pretty quickly. So if anyone jumps in there, we boot them out pretty fast. Who else is there? We got Brennan as well. Good to see Brennan. Howdy, folks. Good to see you, Brennan. We got Hex Token in the house there. Good to see you on all 3 channels from looks of it too. Archipelago says a Jinkai alive, about 10% minted so far. There we are. That's hot off the press there from Archie. We'll get up to the Jinkai launch in a minute. Oh, well, probably about half an hour, something like that. Maybe 45 minutes. That's a bit more realistic. We got Brennan as well. Very nice, says Brennan. Yep. I did post a tweet in the Hex Token Discord under NFTs if people want to go mint their Jinkais out now. You can do that while watching. You know, that'd be a cool thing. We got Anita says, hi, gang. Just popping into the show support. Nice one. No, thank you very much, Anita. And Hex Token says, I like the intro. Yeah, I like the intro too, but I am thinking about doing a fresh new intro. So we'll see what happens in that space. Fingers crossed. And if anyone's got any good ideas, let me know and just DM me on Discord. Craig Pitt in the house as well. Morning, let's go. Absolutely, let's go. We're going to rock and roll into that. Keep mindful of the intro today. DCA and Pulse, says Mike. Absolutely, DCA, dollar cost average. The first 6 to 12 months, particularly important to pull up. And of course, when we get these big protocols launching, the prices may very well, it probably plays our favor, start rallying up. So once Liquid Loans, Power City, all these things start rolling out, we could see some major leverage moves in the Pulsechain, including famous the fork of GMX, the margin trading that could really zip things up. People can do up to 30x on that margin trading, and there's plenty of people that like to play that game. So, yep. All right. What's it? Mental says, hope my homie Richard goes live soon before 2024. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mentos, but let us know. Rephrase that one. Minting now, says Brennan. Nice one. Well done, Brennan. And of course, Ryan Torres as well. Yo, 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 yo. Good to see you, Ryan, as well. Now, we'll post in the Jinkai. We're going to come up to it, but I will post the link there. If that is something that you want to mint, you can mint those out. I think that's refreshed. If I refresh it, that's minting now. So let me just copy that. And if you want to do mints any of those, if that's something that you're going to be doing, and you wanted to get the link, the link is in the chat there. So there it is there, jinkai.pulsesouls.com. All right. What else? Let's jump away, though. Let's get into the crypto market. And let's start the show. We've got about 30 people in it at the moment. We're just ramping up the number of people watching. Let's get into it and let's share the screen. Let's see how the market is going in crypto. At the moment, we've got BTC, Bitcoin at $25,025. We've got ETH at 1619, up down 1%. So just a little bit of down day. We are on the Sunday. You guys know typically in the US, the Sunday time is a bit of a down day generally for crypto. So probably no surprises in the markets there. We've got Solana is probably the big move down there. You can see Solana's down 5.8% at $18.31. That's pretty much it. Now, looking at the news, really, the only thing that was probably of interest, apart from some crypto guy in Turkey getting 11,000 years in jail, which is just ridiculous, right? 11,000 years, it just makes no sense. But anyway, we got last night, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. So Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin's X account, that's on the formerly known as Twitter account, was taken over and used to steal 700,000 in crypto and NFTs. Now, Richard Hart has commented on this on Twitter as well. When the account was taken over, it was used to advertise a fake commemorative NFT mint that supposedly had a time limit, encouraging users to mint them quickly. Yet the link was to a phishing website that would drain cryptocurrencies and NFTs from wallets that interacted with it. These people are so cruel. These scammers are so nasty. And this shows you some of the people out in the world, you know. That's why parents have to teach their children, and not everybody is good out there, unfortunately. Though this phishing attack, around 700,000 crypto and NFTs were lost, accordingly to estimates the crypto sleuth Zach XBT and on-chain data. This included one CryptoPunk NFT worth 153 ETH. Can you believe it? They got one of those big CryptoPunk NFTs and hundreds of Ether from multiple individuals. Most of the NFTs have been sold, with many of the proceeds from the attack remaining in the hacker's wallet, which they've got there at the moment on the link there. So that was the sad news, unfortunately. And of course, there the famous Mr. Vitalik Buterin. So that was pretty much the highlight in the news over crypto. Pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy there as well. What's that there? All right. We got a couple of comments in the chat there as well. Let me just jump over to those firstly. We got Ryan in the house there. Yo. Good to see you, Ryan Torres, as always. Property Review, great video today. Thanks, Property Review. Big shout out to you. And greetings from the Netherlands from Richie Robertson. Hey, Richie, hope you're well there in the Netherlands. Woo! Yeah, get excited. Watch your pockets, tin top. Yeah. And Hex then says, I don't recall Richard being hacked online. No. Well, Richard actually made a comment about that. And yeah, he's very careful about being on Twitter. Vito says, hi, Superman. Thanks for bringing up the Zen achievements. I'm glad I minted my Zen NFTs on Pulse weeks ago, because for the last 2 weeks, the price has been crazy. Fantastic. Well done to you. Yeah, I did do a tweet on the Zen protocols that are going to be launching in October for Pulsechain. So bullish for Pulsechain, and of course, bullish for the Zen ecosystem there and the community. So it's a win-win. And we like win-wins on this channel. That's how we rock and roll. Crypto Tycoon as well. Greetings from LV. Hey, Crypto Tycoon. Greetings to you as well. And welcome to the chat. All right, let's move on. So the reason why I want to highlight this this Vitalik one too is that you do need to be careful out there. You know, be careful what you do. We always talk about, if you're going to do some more risky things, use a DGN wallet. Never use, ever use your main accounts that you've got most of your crypto in. Keep those pretty much dormant. And of course, use DGN wallets. Set up different wallets with different seed phrases, etc. Those sort of things, and use those for interacting with any dApps that you're not aware of. Always limit your financial exposure to within those DGN accounts. Basically, if you're going to be doing more speculative things, you know, just remember that new protocols, doesn't matter how shiny, how good they look, just be very careful there as well. Sometimes protocols also, not only do we have all these scammers out there doing phishing stuff like this, but you know, there are also you just got to be just generally careful with codes as well. Know that the team can actually deliver their code as well, so you don't have codes that fall over, things like that. So there's lots of issues to think about, and we don't talk too much about this on this channel, but every now and then it's always good to have a friendly reminder that you just need to be really careful out there and take care. You are your own bank, and DeFi it is wonderful, but it's also you got to be careful with who you interact with. So yeah, use DGN accounts. Will definitely limit some of that and limit the amount of risk that you take. So that's pretty much that on that. Let's move forward. We got Pulsechain, of course. Pulsechain, we're going to talk about that. We got the prices on, and we're going to get into all the prices in a minute. Actually, I probably won't quite get to talk about this later. We'll talk about prices a bit later. We're going to defer that. Let's get into PulseX. But PulseX at the moment, we had that upgrade. You guys remember we had the routing between V1 and V2. You can see V1 and V2 on the charts over here. But the routing, the buying and selling of tokens on PulseX, and of course, that is now just routing you and getting you the best result, right? So you'll get the whatever's the best result for your trade on V1, V2. It's going to do all the hard work for you, which is pretty cool. Now you can go to the little cogs up in the top right-hand side there, and you can click Auto Router and just have that on. That's all enabled that, which is pretty cool. And it will automatically try and get you the best price, right? It'll just route through V1 and V2. And we had a couple of comments about this from the dev, Bretep, and of course, we're going to talk about that. But let us pull up. See, so it's taking a little bit longer there to see how much time it took just to get the rate. And if you click on this arrow here, you'll come to Auto Route at the bottom. You click on that, and it's going to show you what routing it's going through, where it's going through V1, V2, and what percentage is going through either of those, and what different peers as well. So it's going to get you the best rate. Now it does take you a bit longer, and we've got some nice comments here from from the Pulsechain dev about this. So let's have a look at this. So we've got some comments here from Fenders Keepers. Says, hey buddy, I don't know if anyone has mentioned yet, but PulseX price fetching is very slow with the new update. Just he's talking about the routing there. Just letting you guys know, everything else seems legit, and I love the sneakness of it. And then Bretep, the Pulsechain dev, says it's slow because your client is doing the searching. meaning no dependency on external Oracle. Basically, it's doing it on the blockchain rather than through the Oracle there. And so that was pretty much some of the insights there. It's slow because it's searching V1 and V2 versus a single version. So it's slowed down a little bit there. We saw that just take a little bit longer. There are trade-offs to using an Oracle, another price oracle. And of course, we don't have one. We don't have a decentralized price oracle yet on Pulsechain. We're waiting for the Fetch Oracle, which will be a huge deal for Pulsechain ecosystem. That's being produced by Liquid Loans team, and of course that's going to unleash all the big protocols once the Oracle is out. So that's pretty much it. So there are trade-offs to using an Oracle versus on-chain. Obviously, PulseX they're on-chain. It's not a bug. It's a limitation of searching the block speed called latency. So I thought that was kind of cool to highlight some of that. We always like to keep an idea of what's going on behind some of this technology as we move forward with Pulsechain. So kind of cool. That was Pulsechain dev. All right, so that was the first topic I wanted to get through. The next one, of course, is Pulsechain's. Looks like we had some upgrades with the Block Scout. Definitely seems to be performing a lot better. You have to refresh it from time to time, but definitely the speed seems to be doing better. And we've got the blocks now, with only seconds behind. They're not too far behind as well. Whereas a lot of time this was actually not rendering very fast and stuff like that. Take a little while to do it. It definitely looks like it's sped up quite a bit, and you can see all the blocks coming down here and all the transaction lists as well. So definitely looking a bit better on here. Obviously, blockchain's ticking over 10-second block times. We can also see on the day transactions that we're really starting to rocket our transactions at the moment. Isn't that cool? That's very exciting for Pulsechain. And of course, the gas beats at the moment are just insane. We've had some really strong priority bidding here on the old gas. And of course, at the moment, it's showing up here on 25 million, which is crazy. So definitely we're getting some increased activity on the chain. Obviously, we've got excitement around PDI and things like that happening, but definitely seems to be ramping up, doesn't it? Really, really cool. So good news on that. The team is working, and we're getting, first of all, PulseX routing V1, V2 upgrades on Pulsechain, looking Block Scout looking a little faster and performing better. So that's kind of neat. We do have an alternative to the Block Scout, which is the Otter there as well, so you can use that. We have a lot of these links in our Discord under useful links, so you can get hold of all these links. We've got the Otter there. You can use that as an alternative. This is very fast, but it's quite limited. It does, in terms of some of the stuff there, you can search by address, hash, and block number, so you can break things down, but it's a lot faster to use. So I'd probably use that generally still, depending on what you're wanting to do. It's also got a EIP 1559. We know that we have a big burn on the Pulsechain network, just like Ethereum, but we have better inflation deflation tokenomics. But you can actually see the burn by clicking that button on auto.pulsechain.com, and you can see that render. It's going to take a little while, maybe because I've got so much stuff open. But let's see. Here we go there. So it's connected to an Aragon node. Hopefully that renders. It's quite graphic intensive, so it's probably just not working because I've got so much other stuff open at the moment. So we're just going to jump through that. But that is pretty cool. The third thing, of course, in terms of kind of an explorer, is the beacon.pulsechain.com, and of course you can see the blocks and things like that in there as well. So these kind of the three different explorers we've got from the team so far, just ticking over, which is pretty cool. You can see, obviously, we've got validators at the moment up at 40,384, which is amazing. We really, really are doing very well here with the validators, and you can see the validator network just rising here. Look at that. Our all-time high is 40,442 validators, so we're just off the top of that at the moment at 40,384. So fantastic news, hitting over 40,000 validators. And of course, if you guys remember Richard Hart's tokenomics adjustment before the Pulsechain launch was, he was talking about 40,000 and maybe an APY of I think it was 3 or 4% if I remember rightly. And of course, man, has he called this one here? We've just hit the 40,000. But do we stop from here? I don't know. We've got the price of Pulse pretty attractive. Maybe we'll get a lot more validators coming in. Who knows? We will see. But definitely a very, very cool price target there on that. And you can see all the blocks and everything ticking over. So that's the cool chain. So we've got the scan.pulsechain.com. That's our block scout. We've got the Auto Explorer. We've got the beacon.pulsechain. You can explore that too. And it's got blocks and slots and epochs and all that stuff. We've gone through this in depth when Pulsechain was launching. But very, very cool site there. It's got a lot of cool charts on here as well, and stuff like that. One or two of them is actually updated, so not bad as well. I'm not sure if the burn's been updated on here. It's normally it's still not updated there. So there's some features they're not using on here. All right, that leads us to GoPulse as well. So we're talking about these explorers at the moment. So we're going through those. We've just gone through 3 of the ones from the team, but we are going to have third-party explorers coming to Pulsechain, which is exciting as we, Pulsechain ecosystem continues to expand, and it really is getting bullish for sure. What do you want to see most on GoPulseScan.com? So that is coming up, folks. The Explorer is launching in the 3 to 4 weeks. This is really exciting coming from GoPulse, which is been a great dashboard that we've used for covering the Pulsechain launch. And they've got this website, GoPulse Scan. And of course, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. So I can't wait for that to launch. This is going to be apparently super duper. And of course, typically this is going to maybe take, I think they were talking about 10 times faster speed and everything else. So we could see some incredible features on here. This really, we're looking forward to it. And maybe this is going to be the holy grail of explorers for the blockchain. So stay tuned for that. It looks really good. So that is from GoPulse. We'll keep you updated about that. But that's definitely coming up as well. Now, GoPulse is not stopping there, of course. We talked about Portal X, was it 2 days ago, coming back on with their Change Now partnership with Portal X and getting their swapping mechanism up. I've actually used that during this time. And of course, it's really cool to be able to the official bridge is okay but it does take you that 10-15 minutes. It does cost you 0.3% as well, the official bridge between Ethereum and Pulsechain. But to have quicker solutions that you can use like Portal X is really cool. And now it looks like we've got GoPulse.com is back as well. So the buyer's back. Now they all stopped providing service for the cross-chain type of swapping when the OKX exchange went down, because they were all using that to do their trades through. But now they seem to be coming back, finding solutions and coming back on one by one, which is pretty cool. So GoPulse.com.buy is back. So cross-chain swaps there. You can buy and sell PLS on there right now. Fully anonymous, maximum security, worldwide availability. Of course, I've got my link into for GoPulse in the video description if you want to use that for the actual swapping on Pulsechain. So that's on-chain swaps, but they've also got their cross-chain buy function back online as well. So you can find that on the top right of that website. So pretty cool. And they've fixed up their 80% slippage thing as well. So that is the swapping feature there for cross-chain Ethereum to Pulse. So very cool. Always check to make sure you get a good deal. We're never using any swapping mechanism, so that you're getting a fair deal there as well. So cool. Only on downside, fairly small limits at the moment. So just like Portal X, they had small limits as well in terms of the amount of ETH and Pulse you could swap, but still very useful for doing cross-chain swaps. A couple $1,000 per swap is the level, but feel free to do multiple swaps in a row. So even if you only do, you can break it up to smaller amounts. We're currently looking into fixing a Tropa price and Teddy there. We're using GoPulse.buy. Please make sure you're okay with the output rate. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Make sure that you are happy with the output rate there as well. Now, in terms of someone says, will there be a fiat on-ramp? Well, we already have that provided by a third-party host. And of course, Brian is riding climbing the leaderboard there. Last time I saw he was at number 3. He may be close to number 2. And of course, you guys can help him if you want to do a fiat on-ramp to Pulsechain. You can use the Coast on-ramp and off-ramp, and of course, stablecoin CST. So definitely check that out. 47 countries, I think it is now, it's provided to, and Brian can post his link in there if he's online at the moment. So pretty cool. So lots of cool things happening with block explorers, with cross-chain swaps, and of course with the fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. So Pulsechain is continuing to expand its offerings, which brings us into Alex McFurter, Hedron ICOSA dev genius. And of course, he is doing a lot of things. He's working pretty hard. He's obviously moving his some key components of his Hedron ICOSA, what do we call it, version 2, which is going to bring a whole ton of cross-chain interoperability and all sorts of stuff. He's bringing that into testing already. And of course, potentially we're going to have a lot of rollout, possibly rollout in Q4 is probably where we're looking at the moment, since he seems to be proceeding so well with ICOSA Hedron. But in any case, he's got another service that he'll be looking to offering. And of course, he's got an update on his Pulsechain RPC offerings. So basically a good thing for devs to connect into the blockchain. It's been long and painful. V2 of my RPC and subgraph services is rolling out sooner soon with better performance throughout and through throughput in a couple of weeks. So going to have better performance throughput in a couple of weeks, which is pretty cool. ETH will likely be an option as well, nearing full launch after that. So you may be looking at it, what, a month away. We might have the launch of Alex McFurter's RPC offering. So if that's something that will suit you as a developer, something like that, it'd probably be pretty cool. All right, so that is some of the big news around infrastructure that is coming on Pulsechain, or is on Pulsechain, which leads us into the markets. We're going to talk about the crypto markets on Pulsechain. So that's going to be our next topic. Before we do that, let's get back in the chat and catch up with people who've jumped in there now. We've got Mentor says, hope Richard Hart will do a live stream on YouTube before December. Well, maybe after November, maybe, but I don't know if he'll be doing anything like that at this stage. We'll see what happens with the November meeting. Archipelago says, absolutely on ZenFTs. I just tried to mint a bit ago and it was $25 on Pulsechain. Yeah, so there's a lot of activity happening on Zen. So expect high gas fees right through to October, probably. I don't think we're going to have much difference there with some of the activity. Now, this is part of what Richard Hart talked about, right? So Richard Hart talked about high gas fees when people start using it, right? They start bidding in and using the chain. Could be all sorts of things. Some of those things can be projects. Some things can be bots doing certain things, and so there's all sorts of different things like that. But definitely is important now. I think I've got a little video here from Richard. I was just trying to see if I can find it. I'm just trying to see which one it is here. RH Pulse. Maybe it's this one here. We'll just try this one. I think it might be this video. Let's see.
Oh my God, will Pulse fill up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
So that's a cool little clip there from Richard Hart around, over time, the chain's going to fill up. We're going to get projects coming on. We're going to get people using the chain in different ways. And ultimately, it's going to make it more valuable chain, right? So that we see Ethereum has higher costs. And of course, over time, it gets more popular, and that makes it a more valuable chain. And so we see some chains that are super, super too cheap. No one's using them, right? They're not getting valued up. So it really there is more than one component to making a successful chain, but definitely, obviously as the chain gets more popular, is used more by whatever protocol, then, it gets more valuable, doesn't it, arguably over time. So exciting to see that. And of course, we have a huge fundamentals in Pulsechain, big developer, big developer crew of people, and of course, huge community. And much, much more. There's so many things coming out, so it's going to be really awesome to see that. All right, let's get back into it. So we've got Pulse at the moment, and I'm going to jump through the charts pretty quickly, actually. We've got quadruple 0373 on Pulsechain, down 3.55% at the moment. We are on this lazy Sunday, as we say. We got Pulse X at the moment at 50996, so just sneaking into the 50 mark there, down 1.5%. And we've got the incentive token there at $1.05. Down 3.6%, and the ratio to Pulse for one incentive is 28,207 Pulse. The ratio of Pulse to PulseX is 1 to 3.74. So Pulse looking pretty strong. And yeah, there is currently 407 billion PulseX burned at the moment. So this number is fantastic. Obviously, it doesn't show up in the price yet, but further down the track, it's going to be more important when we move into more bullish conditions in the market, and as people start to reprice the Pulsechain and PulseX as well. So, but this is absolutely spectacular results, considering at the moment we are on day 121. So amazing results there. 4 months, and we've already got 1.96% of the PulseX burned out of the public supply. So this excludes the Origin account, which we just kind of see as inactive. And so almost heading towards 2%, just over 4 months is pretty impressive there on PulseX. And we've got a lot of the big protocols about, coming to launch. So we've got ecosystems launching. We've got the Liquid Lines ecosystem, the Power City ecosystem, the PH Universe ecosystem's got the big protocol famous. We've got obviously the Zen ecosystem is launching, multiple projects in October. So really is lots of other projects as well. We've got lots of stuff coming. So really it's just expected to ramp up. Now the incentive token there, it's got 10 million in supply, with 74,000 burned through the TYRH protocol, which we're going to talk more about today. Hex at the moment, PHEX is at 0.0072 cents, and EHEX is at 0.035. So Hex has probably been hit the most in the last 2 days. It's down, last day and a half. It's down 4.6% on PHEX. One PHEX will get you 195 pulse, so that's definitely down. And one PX will get you 2.06 EHEX at the moment. So obviously relative to EHEX, it's down as well. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is 1.08 cents. Just 2 days ago, I think we were at 1.2 cents. So that's kind of where we come down from there on the old chart. So let's quickly look at the charts as well. So that is the Pulsechain chart on the 4 hourly. So you can sort of see we're actually kind of in this channel, but we're on the weaker side at the moment. With the Bollinger Bands on the 4 hourly. Let's look at the daily chart. That is the daily there. We've got narrowing bands happening on the Bollinger Band. So that's going to mean we're going to break one way or the other. So at the moment, we're kind of be traveling sideways, and we're in the bottom of that channel at the moment. We had some channels here. So this is going to make a decision eventually if these keep tightening up on the Bollinger Bands. We'll be looking out for that. Let me have a look at the RSI. RSI's just been skipping along the bottom here. Not quite oversold, so maybe we could come down to 3,500 and then bounce off that. We will see. Sunday, it's Sunday, so maybe the week will be a bit more bullish. PulseX at the moment is on the one at hourly. Let's go to the daily. Daily there, just skimming along the bottom there as well. Really teasing around these 5 zeros at the moment, isn't it? We've been as low as 9,500 pretty much. Is probably where we've hit a couple of times, twice now. At this 9,500 with 5 zeros, so we're watching for that too. Potentialities, of course, for PulseX, single side staking potentiality. We just saw the routing come in. Maybe we'll see limit orders and eventually as well. That's something that I'm not too. I know there's a lot of people after those. We probably have third-party solutions on those with limit orders, but yeah, there is one platform I think that offers limit orders already for PulseX. But apart from that, we may see that later on. And the DAO, of course, we might see that later too. Maybe December. Maybe we might see the DAO in December. We'll see. There's a number of theories around the DAO, so we'll see what happens with that in the future. There's a certain rollout that's going to be played, and I think that will probably work out fine. Looking at incentive token at the moment, that's $1.05, and the ratio, as we said, is 28,204. So we've really been, look at us, been pretty much moving sideways for 4 days. Even 5 days here on the old ratio. So the market doesn't seem to want to go any lower at the old incentive token ratio at the moment, despite the fact that it's minting out more incentive tokens. PHEX there, this is on the daily. That's the PX chart there. Also looking pretty similar to Pulse, isn't it? Broke away underneath the 50% mark. Looking pretty similar to Pulse there, but we do have higher lows. So that is something at the moment. We just need to edge that higher out of there eventually. And of course, we've got EHEX there at 3/400th of a penny, and we've still got a higher low in there, but definitely a red day yesterday. Let's see if we can get something green out of this at the moment. And of course, the combined price on the hourly for EHEX and PX, we've come down from our 1.2 cent mark up here, all the way down towards almost testing 1 cent, but just below 1.1 cent at the moment combined for EHEX and PHEX. So that's pretty much the charts. Which brings us quickly into the validators. We're going to highlight that again. We're at 40,384, which is pretty cool. And we've got 1.29 trillion pulse off the market staked with the validators, which is fantastic, fantastic stuff there on that. Now, the other thing we've been noticing lately is the gas price volatility has gone through the roof the last couple of days. Man, the weekend's supposed to be low gas, but we've got obviously people bidding up the chain and paying more for it. And we've been up into, I've seen 12 million beats and stuff like that. We're down at 1.6 million. We were cruising along at like 500,000 beats. It was super, super cheap to do everything. But when people start using the chain, you're going to get more people, prices being pushed up there as well. We've got 2/10 of a penny for PulseX swap at the moment, 1/10 of a penny for Pulse coin transfer, and 4/10 of a penny for PRC20 transfer at the moment. And of course, we're currently 244 times cheaper than Ethereum and 462 times cheaper than Bitcoin. Now, we've seen this number up in the thousands, of course, for Ethereum. We were thousands of times, 1,000, 1,500 times more cheaper than Ethereum. But definitely, earlier today, I saw it where we had a big spike. See this big spike up here? We spiked all the way up here to like, I think it was 8 million beats or something. And we were like 40 times cheaper than Ethereum. So it really does reflect this the Gwei or beats on the Pulse chain at the moment. The other thing I want to talk about was at the bottom here is the number of transactions. Look at this. These transaction numbers have really been rocketing on the old chain. So that's good news. That's good news. I know it's going to be a pain paying higher gas. But once again, we want the chain to become more popular and more transactions to come on them. And hopefully those transactions over time are more quality transactions with quality being really good DeFi and other protocols that are on the Pulse chain. So, yeah, that's kind of the play there at the moment. All right. I think we'll leave that there. That is some of the highlights. Let's jump away from all these. And let's get into some of the other categories on Pulse chain, which have been doing very well. We're going to go through the other categories, the top ERC20s price discoveries. So we're going to go by liquidity. So obviously we've got PDAI, Wrap Bitcoin, and I have got on this list, but a Troper as well has been doing very, very well. I thought I added a Troper, but I'm not sure where I put that now. Let me add it now because I keep forgetting to do it. A Troper there. So actually I have got it added on there. So I'm not sure where I've added it in. Oh, I've got it in there. So it must be here somewhere hiding. But we've got PDAI at the moment is down 5%, but this thing has absolutely done amazing. And look at that. Look at that chart on PDAI. There's obviously a huge following on Twitter now. Let me know in the chat there if you guys have been following that too, because it's going pretty well. So yeah, 00208 is at the moment is on the old PDAI. That chart looking pretty good there. We've got a high so far. Was it yesterday? We got up to 0025. So quarter of a penny was the top of the PDAI move so far. And we've definitely broken out. We broke down through this previous high of 2200th of a penny. So we broke that. And who knows where this thing will go now. The natural target is 1 cent. So we'll see whether it can make that. Have I got that on this chart? Maybe not. 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hourly. Thought I had this on the chart there, 1 cent. Maybe I don't. It's further up here. I used to have it on the chart here. That's the PDAI. So we're watching to see whether that can head up to 1 cent rather than be sold off with some violent red wick. We will see. All right. That is PDAI. Wrap Bitcoin was also bolted too out of the gate. And look at that. 2 days ago, that bolted up really high. And yesterday it was pretty high too. And we got up to $165. Man, oh man. So you guys know I talk about this every day. So when I was talking about it, we were down here, right? We're down, we were even further down, were we? I was on the day there, we were down, yeah, definitely around this 45, 48, 47 here. In here, we're talking about it in here, and look at it bolt away. Wow, that's awesome. So $99.40 at the moment, and got up to $165 yesterday. Pretty crazy. We've got, this is a new candle, by the way. That's yesterday's candle. That just closed 10 minutes ago. This is a brand new candle from the looks of it. So kind of cool on that. And let's quickly find PDAI. Sorry, Troper I'm looking for. Pretty sure it's on here, but not showing. Let me just do it by token sort. It says it's in this list, but it's not showing up. So I'm not sure why that is not showing up. It says it's supposed to be there. Let's have a look manually at Troper. Let us go. So that is the Troper one. Oh, that's Diatrapper. I see. That's why it's showing up. Diatrapper. All right. So cool. Anyway, that's doing pretty well. What else we're going to look at there? I think we got Pepe. Pepe is up 7%. It's at 86K in liquidity. And I think this is one of the sleepers. So if you think about the 9-inch DEX, which is expected to come, that's a $16 million sacrifice project, meme DEX. Then we're thinking of what coins we're thinking of. We're thinking of Pepe, thinking of SHIB. Will probably do really well when that launches. So that's still not yet launched. I checked this morning, see whether they had an update on that. That moves us to the meme coins at the moment. And of course, three of the other ones, of course, for 9-inch, they've got Where Did the ETH Go, Paul Pleb, and Pulse Dodge. Those three there, and they're all pretty cheap at the moment. And of course, not financial advice, but plain probability. They're going to get single-side staking pools, and BBC tokens is what Hexy Bastard, one of the team members there, has said about this. So Where the ETH Go is down pretty dramatically at the moment, 30 down to 34 cents. I'm not sure why the sell-off there. Probably just one big account selling down. But we'll see. And of course, what else there? Paul Pleb is down 6% at the moment. So that rally, maybe a prelude to excitement about the 9-inch launching, has been sold off back down there, down to 3,000. And of course, Pulse Dodge is also down as well, starting to shed some of that pre-excitement, I guess, that came back into the market. So we'll be watching out for that. All right, so that is 9-inch. That's probably going to be a big deal when it launches, that DEX. Yeah, we're looking forward to it myself. So it's going to be fun. I'm not even involved, but I do think it's probably going to perform pretty well. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's jump over to our final category, which is Pulsechain projects. It's kind of the main category. This is what will value Pulsechain up even more over time. Obviously, meme coins and all that have their place, but getting a lot of utilities and DeFi is going to add that base layer of value. And we want that base layer to climb over time, right? We want really quality DeFi on the Pulsechain, and we're getting it. So, and all the big stuff is yet to launch, really. We've had a couple of the big protocols launch, but most of the big ones are still yet to come. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so the top point at the moment, Pulse Reflections, which is kind of a tax token. We've got Pulse LN, that is another bridge. So we talked about, Portal X bridge, Pulse. We've talked about Go Pulse. Talked about the official bridge. Well, another one, of course, is the Pulse LN with Bitcoin BNB to Pulse. You can use that. And of course, that also uses the Lightning Network. So that's pretty cool. That is up 18%. In fact, that's been performing pretty well. Been performing pretty well. Look at that. So this is on the daily. It has really had a nice little rally there. Just a bit of profit taking coming in, but nice little bounce back here. So, it's going to be fun to see this. So performing pretty well. It was discounted for some time, this account, but of course, now it's working and it's up and running, up 584% in 11 days. Pretty nice little return, right? And still up 450% in 15 days. Not bad at all. But of course, you got to be in. There's volatility in there for that sell-off that we had. That's Pulse LN. What else has been doing pretty well? That's pretty much it. Those are the two top performers today. We've got a couple little burn token from TYRH has managed to get a 4% little gain there. It's very small liquidity pools. Top liquidity pools at the moment, Algo tied to Hex, Spark Swap, that's still at $1 million there, but down from $1.25. So this is one of these more speculative yield ROI platforms. And of course, you can see here they had a big rally. Look at the big rally, went all the way up to like $1.61. Back here it was $1.21 around here, and look at this, down it goes. And this has a mechanism where it's supposed to stop Spark, getting sold off so aggressively, but it hasn't worked, as we can see. Down 45 cents at the moment. I'm not aware of any other news around Spark. Let us know in the chat if you know this Spark swap. But apart from that, the chart is telling us that mechanism is not quite working. It's called Sparkle. It's supposed to put your Spark token in there, and that's supposed to stop the bleed. And of course, that's from you're supposed to earn LP instead and sell the Pulse down, but that doesn't seem to be playing out so much. All right, so those projects are more similar. They're like Swap Sparks, more similar like PulseRate, for examples like this. They've got different type of experimental tokenomics with what I call sort of like almost ROI yield farming. Other similar ones I might put in there, not quite the same, but you start to move into GameFi there when you start to move into PulseRate's a fork of Tomb, but you start to move into like Drip in a Pulse Drip. We sort of start to move into the GameFi ROIs. So yeah, that's kind of a crossover, but that's kind of where we're at the moment. What else we got going? That's kind of the highlights there. We've got TYRH there at 218k. Tetra is at 148k liquidity. PTS token, which is the big super DEX aggro, doing a great job. More to come from this team. $106,000 there. Beetroot, the privacy hub, 104,000. Time token, the internet money wallet. One, if you're holding time, you get the share of the swap fees, better than MetaMask. Man, I really wish we could get do a bigger campaign against using MetaMask and move to other wallets. MetaMask is not DeFi's friend, and of course 66k in there. We've still got PulseRate, of course, still sitting up there at 43k. Pulse Reflections, Daytona Finance, Texan Token. So there's some of the leaders in our bigger liquidity. And once we get these big protocols launching like Pulse, Liquid Loans, Power City, and others, we're going to see even more big liquidity pools come to Pulsechain. So it's going to be bullish as so looking forward to that. All right, those are our markets there. Let's get on to let's quickly look at the TYCZ adoption. And before we do that, though, we're going to get all the project updates. Let's catch up in the chat and just see who else has jumped in here as well. We've got Joe Torres, hi all, and Pudding Guru, hi gang, good to see Pudding Guru. We got George Taco as well. What's up, guys? Let me jump through here. We've got Thomas Turner, hey family, all the players, hold. There's Thomas. And then Brian there around the coast Fiat on-ramp. If you haven't used the Fiat on-ramp, you want to use the Fiat on-ramp Pulsechain. Brian is tied at number 2 now. Well done, Brian, with 18, but still stays 3rd place. Hopefully they'll get corrected. You need to contact the team and get that corrected. We've got to get it right. This is the whole point. We've been having fun getting you to number 2. Get your free weight tokens. Of course, you get 5,000 weight tokens when you use the bridge as well. So the on-ramp and off-ramp. And so does Brian. And of course, we're trying to cement Brian's position at number 2. Behind Crypto Coffee, the biggest influencer in the Pulsechain Hex space, pretty much. Yeah, definitely get onto that. We got Vicho in house. It keeps calm and DCA on. That's true. Definitely smash the like. If you haven't hit the like button, do smash it now and smash the subscribe button as well. Thomas with the Supermans, I like those. Brendan says nearly 1,000 Genkai souls minted already. Yeah, we're going to catch up to that in a minute. I did post that link, of course, at the beginning of the live stream. Head over to Superman's other channels and drop a like and subscribe. Yeah, if you haven't had the subscribe, but smash the subscribe on Superman Crypto and, of course, the Pulsechain channel. Now, Pulsechain channel used to be my BitFury YouTube channel. Now I've changed that to Pulsechain as well. I did have some issues with YouTube on that channel. So, you know, YouTube's not your friend when you're a streamer. Yeah. I've changed the whole channel, so hopefully that will keep YouTube off my back with their craziness. All right, what else there? We've got Bluffish King says, hi all, I'm late. I've been away for a few days. Always a pleasure to get you back, Bob. It's always good to have a break. I was away yesterday myself. So there we are. All right, let's catch up on this one. So the first thing we're going to talk about is TYCZ. And of course, TYCZ there from Jacob and the BNB Pulse Pot team. And of course, also other projects that have done on Pulsechain already. But TYCZ is coming up. And actually, before I want to talk about TZ, I was going to talk about TYRH. So let me talk about TYRH because that is actually up first. So let's talk about that. Now, TYRH, this project here burns RH tokens. It also has staking that's been reinstated after the fix. We've got 56% of people staked at the moment. And of course, the game continues with the burn, plant, and water protocols. And of course, we've got multiple tokens in the Hex system and waiting for version 4, which is apparently going to be a very big version. So let's get in some of the updates about this from Jacobs. What else here? Let's see. We've got the updates here. So Jacob made some updates about the exploit that happened, unfortunately. And of course, it was very distracting, he says. It's taken 10 to 12 days of development and some of the team's enjoyment doing the work. So they've had to fix things up. Ultimately, the team's fault, though. Mentioned that they didn't blame the person stealing. It was the team's responsibility because they made an error of one part of the contract. Apparently, it was a very small one, but that's just the way it goes when people were early in staking. Exploiter came forward on an anonymous account, was an average guy and normal community user. So it was someone pretty much playing the game, a small, what they call a grinder, just trying to grind away more yield. And of course, they stumbled across the flaw in the code. Stumble cost an option to steal $100,000 USD. Can you believe it? 100,000. It's just too easy in crypto, isn't it? Sometimes. And of course, the team has learned to take more time between the idea and execution. So the team just cooling down a little bit there. It is a high-performing team, but hey, look, anything can happen when you're trying to rapidly innovate. So not surprising. But of course, they're going to take more care given the financial implications for players. They've hired a dedicated internal third-party auditor who is not part of the normal development team that will review all code going forward. So I know a lot of you will be happy about that. That will allow extra security and still maintain development speed, which is a nice balance there, I think. Learn a lot about the community, both positive and negative. So the team there taking in the unfortunate side when there is an issue that it will be exploited. And of course, TYRH. So TYRH update. So that was the past, but moving into the future, TYRH is looking to have V4. Apparently, it's not ready. I think it may be in a week or two. It might be ready. I'm not quite sure how this thing. It's not very clear. And of course, V4 has been started but not done yet in terms of the coding. V4 is going to be a very large update, at least as large as V3. As I said earlier, V3 will have more clarity on the holy and seed tokens. So at the moment, you can see the burn, the plant, and the water, but they're also in the game. You've got these holy and seed tokens, which are going to be used for game 4 V4. V4 will include yield gains and certain features from PulseBot, which we're expecting. So PulseBot being BNB on Binance chain, but of course PulseBot's expected to launch on Pulsechain. That should be the second EVM launch for the crypto casino. Now, PulseBot, as I understand it, has to wait for the Fetch Oracle. So if you're wondering why that has not launched yet, because they need the Fetch Oracle to make all the price calls. PulseBot is full of price calls. It's complicated. And of course, we saw that development roll out on BNB and had to make adjustments to capture any issues with that too. So we'll have to wait for PulseBot with Fetch Oracle from what I can tell. Jacob wants V4 to be perfect and break Pulsechain. In other words, he wants it to be so interesting and fun, everybody will want to use it. So stay tuned for that. That could be super bullish for TYRH. So looking forward. Now, with OG NFTs, if you're lucky enough to have those, you get those from as part of the compensation from the exploit. Will be incredibly beneficial and will have multiple uses that will include discounts, accesses, passes, bonuses, etc. And future releases will persist as long as there are good ideas for the TYRH, TYCZ ecosystem. So as long as they've got good ideas, they'll continue to do new versions. But version 4 is the big one coming next. So maybe in 2 weeks' time is my guess. So yeah, moving on to TYCZ. Now TYCZ is still open, of course. And you can see that there's 6 days left now. 6 days. So I did post a reminder on YouTube about the fact that this is timing out. So 6 days left, and of course there's a 6% bonus in there at the moment. But of course you can get a 10% referral bonus as well if you use a referral link. And so I'll post mine on the chat. Why not, as we always say. All right. So at the moment, this is the address that you use for TYCZ, and of course there's only 6 days left to get into this lobby. At the moment, there's $883,000 in there at the moment, and this is despite the issue that happened on TYRH, and which is being fixed up with their solution. And of course, at the moment, $1 get you 905 TYCZ. It's kind of 208% times cheaper than TYRH protocol at the moment. So it's only 6 days to go, ticking away there. The other thing, of course, is that you can use tokens from any of these 3 chains to go and enter the lobby just by sending them to this address. Very easy to do. It's just a send function there. The leaderboard looks like the top person that has participated in the lobby is at 444,500. Number 15 is at 13,887. So there's quite a lot of players in this, as you can see. They're going to have a lot of the same awesome pump mentals as TYRH, but they're going to add in all their latest ideas as well. So it's going to be pretty neat there on TYCZ. Now, if you also want to earn a 10% referral, of course, a bonus, so you get 10% more, then you can use this link, and that's pretty much it. Now, you do have to have a minimum of $100 in terms of the what you put into the lobby. So just remember that. There also is a special bonus on at the moment there's a special bonus on at the moment for the if you got large volume. So if you put in large volume, I think it's 2,500, you can get extra bonus at the moment. You can get the first day bonus basically instead of the current bonus, which is 6%. So if you do anything under 2,500, you will get what did I say? You would get 6% at the moment if you do 2,500 bonus plus the 10% referral. But if you do over $2,500, then you get the first day one bonus, which is 25%, not 6%. So it's a pretty big deal. So definitely, if you want to do that, you can use the referral link and get 10% more as well. So if you're doing over 2,500. Now, what was I going to say? We've got further updates about that. So announcement, TYCZ will have a volume bonus, which I just talked about, or TYZ lobby entries from wallets above 2,500 will get the day one 25% bonus, as I just said, and an only OG NFT. So you're going to get an OG NFT as well. The base sacrifices need to be above 2,500. This does not include any bonuses. So, for instance, if the base sacrifice is $2,000, you have 1,000 referrals, this does not qualify you for the bonus and volume bonus. So you need your base amount that you put into the lobby. It needs to be $2,500 or more to participate in that. Now, apparently Jackson made comments says they knew right away from the previous development on the BNB chain, TYRH would be successful on the BNB chain. So that's what remember they've already done BNB pot over there, so they already have a good idea of how it's successful over there. BNB chain has 100x daily users. So I guess it's supposed to be 100,000 daily users, something like that. Products that thrive on BNB are tax token games. TYZ is a perfect fit. And of course, Jacob says he knew that if it wasn't launched on BNB, someone else would launch it. It was a natural move to apply the learnings from TYRH ecosystem as a TYCZ. Need to release as a lobby or sacrifice phase, because if people knew it was launching, a few whales would have bought 80% of the supply. I've seen that before. Stakes on TYCZ will be random between 55 days and 120 days. That's probably an important difference. So they'll stagger stakes that come out. Remember that. So they're going to be randomized. Not at the moment on TYRH, you could do 55 days. Well, on TYCZ, they're going to be randomized between 50 days and 20 days. So you just don't know when they will come out. There's going to be a dedicated TYCZ Telegram channel. Will be open to TYCZ is open. So that will be open once the platform has been launched. There will not be any marketing effort because they wanted all the supply and funds to be in the hands of the users. The team did not want to siphon 100K from the project and the people owning tokens. So those are some of the updates there from the team. Finally, the OG NFTs for TYCZ are a total of all base sacrifices from the same wallet across the 25-day duration of the sacrifice period. So congratulations, OG NFTs on TYRH will be launching this week. Very exciting. So lots of cool things happening there for the TYRH and TYCZ ecosystem. So once again, you can use the referral link and send any crypto you want to that address there, and the eligible crypto is there. And of course, there's only 6 days left to go. If you're over 2,500, you can get 25 bonus plus the 10% referral. If you're under 2,500, you can get a 6% bonus and a referral of a 10% on top of that at the moment. So that is pretty much it. So lots happening with the TYRH and TYCZ ecosystem at the moment, which brings us on into something that's kind of similar in terms of it. It's a ROI GameFi, which is PulseRate. And of course, feeling lucky, the thrill of the chance awaits you in the latest game, Pulse Roulette. So if you like playing the games, PulseRate has been expanding its earning protocols or earning games on its platform. And of course, PulseRate now has roulette. So if there's something for you, obviously we don't generally support, actively gambling. We talk about the projects, but normally from a staker's point of view. And this is the game. It's got a little Richard Hart head in the middle as well. Now, gas fees are pretty expensive. Like, you got to get cheap gas fees to play it because otherwise, you want to do small little bets, So 5,000, for example, maybe too small at the moment when you're paying gas fees of 20,000 pulse. Just remember that. So you might want to wait till the gas comes down to maybe 500,000 beats rather than 10,000. 500,000 rather than 10 million beats on the old gas price there. Otherwise, it could be worth more than what you're putting in there. But that is the payout. And of course, you can play roulette. You can see it's pretty cool. It just gives you all the options that you can choose to play, and looks pretty good. Now they have other ones, of course. They got earning protocols. They got staking, boardroom, all the stuff we've seen for a while. But they've also got their win products, which is coin flip, dice, and now roulette. And of course, they've got lottery as well. So 4 games on here. So pretty cool on PulseRate. All right, so that is that. Good news there for PulseRate as well. So I'll post the link to that if you guys want to check out that game. There it is there. Bam. Told you we're going to have a pretty big update today. You guys thought I was just kidding, but there it is. And that is the link there. PulseRate. If you want to check out some of those games, don't spend all your crypto on it at once though, because you're trying to make money, not spend it all. But a little bit here and there is fine. That's fine. Just don't get addicted. That's not financial advice. All right, so Pulse Souls, of course, is launched. The NFTs. We've talked a lot about DeFi and GameFi. We've got Pulse Souls officially launched at genkai.pulsesouls.com, and of course, they're pretty exciting to see that. So I think we've probably got a new tweet here actually. Let me have a look. Congrats. A lot of people are minting these out at the moment. Obviously, at the beginning of the live stream, it kind of opened up then. People minting out their little Jinkais there. So these will probably prove pretty well. Pulse Souls, we are live 1 hour ago. We are above 20% minted out. You don't want to miss out on these. Jinkai Pulse Souls that have been doing pretty well as well. So looking good. So this is the website, of course. Let's do a refresh. And that is the website there. They've got stats, Soul Gambit, rarity distribution, FAQ. Now I know Archie and many of the others will be in Discord talking about these after the live stream. So as my guess, so definitely check that out. 3,000 max supply, 450,000 pulse is the cost of each mint. The mints per wallet is 55. You can do 55 per wallet. OG Soul holders. So if you got an OG, if you got a OG Soul Pulse Soul. You get a $250,000 price. That's kind of a whitelist price there if you're holding a Pulse Soul NFT. Pretty cool. Holders of the original Pulse Souls can receive a $250,000 special price for every purchase of every token, only once per OG Soul, it says there. So one per soul. These are some of the Jinkais that you can win. Now they do have rarities as well. There's some of the cool ones here. Rarity distribution. So they seem to have different ones here. They've got Jinkais, they've got shapeshifters, humanoids, aliens, undead, mutant apes, fables, demon slayers, ecumus, corrupted, and apes there. So these seem to be the different ones they got going on there as well, and the rarity. So different rarities. Just have a look at the different ones. They got 75 of those, so you can check through all those. So it looks like they got quite a few in there. Army collaboration, discount per HA, so 30,000 pulse for Army collaboration. Maximum stackable discounts per mint 5. That's for the Army, I guess, partnership. They've been working with the Army dev Pedro. What's the plan for the Pulse Jinkai souls? Explore the art of Jinkai, find your species, and collect those souls. Looks like they're going to have the soul token coming up. And of course, Jinkai will be a utility-enabled PFP that will hold unique characteristics to the Pulse Souls ecosystem that will serve as Pulse Souls flagship collection as we continue to expand our IP in Web 2 and Web 3 there as well. So I'm not surprised they call it flagship there because I thought Pulse Souls, the entities, were the flagship. But anyway, they are an important part of the ecosystem there. We've talked about the price. Pulse Souls and Jinkai holders will receive a beta access pass to play Soul Gambit before it goes live, and will grant access to an exclusive chat to discussion the game development. Additionally, holders will receive a free airdrop of card sets when the game goes live, so they can start playing without the expenses of this big game. You're going to need these NFTs for. Soul staking, of course, coming up there. Every Jinkai Soul will earn 3 Soul tokens a day when that launches, which can be used in the law book, Soul Shop, and Soul Gambit. So there we are. There's some of the big utility. That's what we like to see. That's more the DeFi side that I like. Law book will allow holders to change the name of their Soul NFT as well, and writing time descriptions as well. So they're going to have little features inside the game. So looking pretty good. Looks like a pretty strong launch, and people are minting them out. Looking good, eh? Would you say? So that is some of the cool stuff there. I'll post the link to the Pulse Souls if you want to check out more details on their Twitter handle. And bam, there we go. That is it. Pulse Souls NFTs, people minting out. That brings us up into Hex.com. How we're doing now in 5 minutes. We're doing amazing today. Hex.com, folks, check it out. The ultimate mining CD, certificate to token on the blockchain. And of course, you can buy it and burn it for T-shares and start mining more Hex, which is pretty cool. You can buy Hex on Pulsechain or Ethereum, and you can start mining that straight away. Let's check out on the results today. We're on day 121 for Pulsechain and 1378 for Ethereum. So let's quickly go through the numbers. We've got Ethereum at the moment, day 1378, 10th of September. Man, yeah, look, we're not that far away from October, and you guys know what happens in October, right? They start advertising Christmas time. That's what they do. You know, all the corporates, they start getting into Christmas early and start advertising that. So it's pretty funny. We got 0. I was just thinking about that today or yesterday or something when I was going for my walk. It's going, I bet they're going to put Christmas signs up here because it feels like it's like creeping up earlier and earlier, but maybe by what do you reckon, mid October or even the 1st of October? Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, so we got price down 4% there on the ETH chain at 0.0353, and so that's 35 100ths of a penny. Their pay up today, which is the main number we're after, 6.65 Hex per is the T-share reward. So if you're mining with T-shares, that's what you get for each T-share, 6.65x. The share rate is a dot day, no change, but yesterday was a big day. I wasn't covering it yesterday. That was really big, and we had a 50 Hex per T-share increase in the share rate. Basically, to get more T-shares, you want to do earlier pays better. In other words, you want to get in before this T-share goes up against you. And of course, you want longer pays better and bigger pays better. And those are the three things that get you more T-shares and mine you more Hex. We got the average mine length 7.09 years, 39% APY for the existing T-share holders. We've got T-shares, 9.8 million T-shares, so we're down. We're up yesterday 4,200, but we're up down 4,800 today, sitting at 9.8 million T-shares in the ownership pool. So those are the people that are mining Hex. We got 9.33% of all Hex is locked at the moment, and of course penalties is almost 1 million, so not bad. Yesterday was not bad either, 850,000. So that's gone into the reward pool, which is pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Liquid holders up 11 yesterday, but for some reason liquid holders are down 303 today. So I'm not sure what's causing that, but for some reason a big number. We got the miners are down 10. We're seeing 120,176 current miners on the old ETH chain. Moving to Pulsechain, day 121. We've got 10th of September, and of course the price there at just over 7/10 of a penny at 727, down 4.4%. The payout 6.6 Hex. Yesterday was 6.62. Yesterday we had that 47 Hex rise in the share rate, amazing. And of course today a dot day. The average length is shorter than on Ethereum on Pulsechain, and of course just under 7 years there, with the APY just slightly lower than Ethereum as well, 38.39% on the old X payout. This is referring to Hex yield. And what else? The ownership pool. Yesterday we were down 3,500. Today we're up 4,400 T-shares, sitting at 9,852,000 T-shares in the ownership pool. That is mining Hex. So 9.53% of all Hexes locked on the Pulsechain side. We had more modest penalties yesterday on Pulsechain. Today not too bad, 774,000. So that boosts the reward pool pretty much for mining. And we've up 21 liquid holders on the Pulsechain side, and up 8 miners on the Pulsechain side too. Yesterday was pretty good too, 28 miners increase. We're seeing 124,112. So about 4,000 more miners on Pulsechain than there is on Ethereum so far after 121 days. How about that? That is pretty much the numbers. We've just started day 1379 and day 122 on Pulsechain. So, you know, it's just continuing to move forward. Pulsechain, blockchain, we love it. The people's chain. And of course, changing a leading DeFi, the DeFi revolution is Pulsechain. So pretty exciting place to be. Hex.com. Look forward to it. We saw some pretty bullish price predictions too from Axis Ally. What's it? Axis Allies? Axis Alives. He's an ally, but you know, Axis Alives, Axis Alive. And of course, you check out some of his content on TA if you want to check out some of the future possibilities for Hex price. We always find the bottom, and if you've got a good product, then yeah, the future could be pretty bright, especially once we start dragging out this bear market into bullish conditions. So stay tuned. All right, that's pretty much it. How about that? Now in 10 minutes, not bad. That's a full show. That's a full show today. And of course, even with the day off yesterday, we had to make up for it a bit today with these huge updates, which is pretty exciting. And we got DeFi, GameFi, and lots more coming. We talked about block scouts. We talked about chains, on ramps. So it's just crazy stuff. We've got so much stuff happening. Really is cool. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We got We got Thomas says, is TYCZ going to launch right after the SAC? That would be a good one. I think it's up to, I think it's about 2 weeks afterwards. Tom Boss is my understanding at the moment, but we'll see how they get on. I think it's going to be 2 weeks. So 1st of October is my understanding. That's probably around that date. Once again, that's tentative, but I think it's the 1st of October, which is pretty good, I think, in the scheme of things. But we'll see. Sometimes if they get the internal audit done, then maybe they'll launch faster if the code's done. So we'll see. But in health there says, all I want for 24 Christmas is PCN on a 5 million MC. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. My bags of packs is VJ. Very, very nice. What else? We got Blobfish King. G'day, Lies and Brian. Nice one there. Nice shout out for you guys. Woohoo, Superman Refines in the house. Good to see Refine. Brendan says, Pulse Souls are officially the highest royalty minting project on Pulsechain. They are indeed. Even I would say, yeah, definitely with the Jinkai ones today. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. So happy minting or whatever else you're doing, DCAing. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. And, of course, get into our Discord. The link's in the video description. If you're on Pulsechain YouTube, Superman Crypto YouTube, or Hex Token YouTube, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for future videos. And I will catch you guys again tomorrow. Same place, same YouTube? Same YouTube? Is that just one YouTube? I think so. All right, I'll see you guys then. Let's play out some cool stuff on the way out. Let's play out, what should we play? Let's play out this video. I don't know. Should we play this video? Let's play this one here. All right, bye for now. Take care.
My $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.